Hi everybody. When we began the appraisal or CMA block, we wanted to talk to you about general principles of value and how to determine the value of a home, and that was the previous class. This class, we debated for a long time about how to do it. And historically, RPR has been taught by the boards. We've had lower adoption rates. We always wondered why people didn't use such an incredible tool. I wanted to share a story with you from my background. My father was an appraiser for 45 years, and my brother was too. So I kind of grew up with appraising and CMA work. When I got into the business, I was very focused on listings, and so I did a lot of listing presentations, and I learned very quickly, by trial and error mostly, that what sellers wanted to talk about were two things. And it wasn't a listing presentation. It was about two other things. What I took to calling a marketing proposal. I stopped talking about a listing presentation, started talking about a marketing proposal, which meant the focus came off of me and how many years and how wonderful my company was and all this other nonsense, and started to focus on, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do to sell your home, to follow up with you, to create an engagement between your home and the marketplace that would result in the sale of your home in a way that worked for you. The second thing, and I found it to be every bit as compelling and interesting to sellers, was what is my home worth and why? What is it going to sell for and why? So I went back to my roots and talked to my dad and my brother about how they appraised properties and how they put them together. I actually took a copy of my brother's appraisal reports, and every time that I went out on a listing presentation, I would take about 45 minutes to an hour and a half to actually physically type out a report of what the property was worth on a typewriter. This was before computers, which begs the question, well, why would I do that? Well, as long as the playing field was relatively level, I got the listing. And I got the listing because I put more work into the figuring out what the home was worth than anybody else, which was probably the most compelling subject for my sellers. And they knew that I did the work, and I didn't tell them I was professional. I didn't tell them how cool I was, and I didn't talk about a bunch of stuff that didn't matter that everybody else was saying. I showed them. There's an old saying, tell me I'll forget, show me I may remember, but involve me and I'll understand. And so I was able to take this typewritten report, and by explaining to them how it worked, I was able to create engagement and involvement with my clients. And that's why I got the vast majority of the listings from the listing appointments that I went on. So I discovered the power of this kind of detailed documentation. My point in telling you that perhaps long-winded story is you don't have to do that. You've got a big, fat, red, easy button called RPR. Just press it. Scott told you, Amy told you, this takes 5 minutes and you look like a genius. You probably now, if you read the report before you present it, you're actually going to know more about their neighborhood than they do. You're going to know things like safety, quality of the school systems, access to public utilities, transportation, tax information. Everything just dumps into your lap and into this report that's absolutely gorgeous. And in presenting it to them, you look like you know more about it than anybody else. This is going to give you a serious leg up on listing appointments. There's buyer reports in there that are going to make you look like a champ too. I believe that the future of real estate is going to be grounded in the value proposition that you present to people. And this is a way to accelerate your ability to present a viable value proposition, not only to sellers through CMA work, but also please take the time to take a look at some of the other resources and tools that are available to you in there. This is, as Amy mentioned, NAR spent $62 million, not of their money, of your money, our money, to produce this tool. And when it came out, it was wonderful. And we basically are shifting now the responsibility for appealing to you to engage in it from the boards and into our own internal education curriculum. So I hope you take advantage of it. I hope that you and the regional managers work through a CMA. Go home and monkey around with it. You can't break it. And have fun with it. And all of a sudden, once you get through that oh gee, this is a new pair of shoes phase, okay, you're going to discover a magic land that is going to create a huge vista, a huge environment in which you can demonstrate, show your value. Don't talk about it, show it. So good luck. I hope it works for you.